What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I'm here at Lanco Tactical with Nate Lamb. I'm going to talk to him today and give you an insight into online sales, online gun sales to be specific. They do online sales here. They accept the guns from other dealers. If someone purchases something online, they can accept it here for a Pennsylvania purchaser. They can go through the background check, etc. So Nate's a really good guy to get this information. So let's get to the questions.
Gun shows are no different than any other transaction with a firearm in every state. So when there's a gun show, sanctioned gun show, the people or the dealers at that gun show must adhere to those state laws. So if an individual comes up to them and wants to buy a firearm, they must undergo a background check. The only exceptions to that would be if it's a private individual and they're legally allowed to sell long guns, for example, to another individual in that same state. But even at gun shows, you have people coming in from out of state. So you could have a person come in to a Virginia gun show that lives in North Carolina, and they're legally not allowed to sell that North Carolina person a firearm, even privately, and even as a dealer, unless it's a long gun, the dealer could sell it to them, but they would have to undergo a background check. So gun shows do not allow anyone to get around state or federal laws. Anytime a gun crosses a state line, you have to do a background check. It has to go to a dealer. It cannot legally be shipped to that person's house directly. It has to go to a dealer, and then that dealer has to perform the background check requirements for whatever state that is, whether it's Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, New Jersey, whoever. That dealer has to perform the required state background checks and do all the paperwork that's required by that state. If it happens any other way than that, it's breaking federal law and state law.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
So at the end of the day, there's really no difference between a gun show, a classified ad in a newspaper, or an online ad selling a firearm. If the gun is being bought by someone who lives in a different state, it has to be shipped to a dealer to legally complete the transaction. If it's going to a person inside the same seller's state, then they can, if the law in that state allows them, sell that firearm privately without a background check. But every state's laws vary. Some states allow that, some states don't. Each state has their own laws regarding private transfer of firearms. Some states do allow firearms to be transferred, both handguns and long guns, between private individuals without a background check, but it still must be a resident of the same state. So if it's two Pennsylvania residents buying and selling, that's okay if it's a long gun in Pennsylvania. But Pennsylvania has a law that all handguns must be transferred to the dealers. So every state has their own laws regarding private sales of firearms. Some states allow them all to be transferred privately. Pennsylvania, long guns are okay privately, but handguns must go through dealers. But every state has their own specific laws regarding that. So if you came in to us and wanted us to ship a gun for you to someone you sold a gun to online, we are not allowed to ship it directly to that individual. It has to go to a dealer. So if the buyer's in North Carolina, we have to ship the gun to a dealer in North Carolina so that that person goes into that dealer to pick it up. However, if you're buying a gun and the person that's selling it to you lives in North Carolina, they are allowed to ship it by federal law to any dealer, any FFL holder in any state. However, there are a few states like New York and others that prohibit private individuals from shipping even to dealers. Everything must come from a dealer and go to a dealer in and out of New York. California is the same way.